Okay, hello everyone. This is a Tyrant In Training update. You know, with Infowars, that's the terrible podcast that Alex Jones does.
Yes, I'm very sorry to interrupt you.
What?
What show is it where they go, welcome, welcome, welcome?
Welcome,
Oh,
welcome,
it's John
welcome.
Oliver.
John Oliver does
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
sorry.
I have to
Yeah.
figure out my thing, right?
It's all I could think of when you said it, so, and then I was just expecting you to go, welcome, welcome, welcome to Tyrants In Training.
So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yeah, I don't know, because
Why
you
would
said
you go so
no,
welcome,
because you
welcome,
said
welcome?
so at the start, I think.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
but you
thought
wouldn't go
then-
so welcome, welcome, welcome.
I know, but you could have.
No, I wouldn't try that.
But
But
yeah,
I was thinking, I
sorry.
brought up the other awful person. Well, no, John Oliver's fine. I brought up awful Alex Jones.
Yes.
Because I listened to a podcast called Knowledge Fight that does kind of review of his show, and he seems to always start with like a siren alert, and it's always like, it's, what day do we know? It's April the 8th, and this is a broadcast from the last center of freedom in, it's very dramatic because, why wouldn't it? But yeah, I need to figure out my, there is the one from Behind the Bastards podcast, which just seems to be, hello,
Yeah.
as if he's been frightened.
I mean, I don't think you need to have a specific. I think your intro works. Just you being you. Just be you,
Okay.
and people will love you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. Needed that. I'm gonna keep that in. So what I'm doing is, hello, everyone. This is Kevin Ryan, is the host of this podcast again, Tyrant In Training podcast that helps the SEO on the website. If you keep mentioning.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
Ah.
And this is a podcast where tyrants are training to be a guest on the Tyrant In Training podcast. What do you think of the Tyrant In Training podcast, Celine,
I
who's
very
my
much
fiancé?
enjoy.
It also helps with SEO if you're my fiance.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I enjoy the Tyrant In Training podcast.
Go on. What specifically in a training sense do the tyrants do that make you think this is a podcast?
They talk about their tyranting.
That's not a word. You've ruined it. You've
their
absolutely
tyranny.
fucked it. You've ruined it. Okay, forget it. What is happening is, I have now figured out how to use a thing called YouTube.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not just for you. It's for everyone. So, I am now re-releasing special report. This is or whatever. I'm re-releasing all the episodes, right? So
Yes.
I might put this out on a different day than usually. Usually these come out Thursdays, but I might
yes.
we're
Whatever
going back.
day you want.
Yeah. So this first one is the very first episode of it. Do you know when I released it? On my birthday, because I had nothing else to do. 3 years ago. And that nice.
That reflects badly on me also.
Yeah, it does.
Well, we were also in the middle of, 3
years ago.
2021, December 2021.
Yeah, we were locked down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were we in lockdown at that time? I don't know. But
Well, what else were you doing? What were you referring to?
Well, we were in the middle of the general pandemic. I can't remember. Can't remember exactly when the strict lockdowns were. But
Okay. No. Well, yeah. No, I was. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So of course you had nothing
We'll
else
talk
to
about
do.
this at home. Yes. So this is the first episode. Once more, you can listen to all over again. What? What are you laughing
Once
at?
more.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know.
Again, this is the first episode.
Yes,
it's
this
already
is
out.
Episode number 1.
But I'm re-releasing it.
Yes.
With this extra useless commentary that we've fucking tacked on.
Yeah, sorry
Yeah,
about
this
this.
is terrible. This is going on. Okay. What happens with the Tyrant In Training podcast? Say the name before you describe it.
In the Tyrant In Training.
Oh, I'm not editing. We don't have time for edit.
In the Tyrant In Training podcast, someone comes on and you ask them questions about what they'd be like and what rules they would have if they ran their own country.
Perfect. You will get this. We have 40 of these to do. We're re-releasing 40 of them.
I'll have it nailed by...
You will by then. Yes. So the very first guest. Do you remember who it was?
It was Brian Cutter.
Well done. Yes, Brian Cutter, who is a filmmaker who has his own studio. We're out of Hampton, Virginia, I think.
Ooh.
I remember
I
that
want to
right.
go to Virginia.
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have
Look
nice
up the
foliage.
flights. Do they?
As far as I
What
can-
type? Is it varied?
Autumnal.
Autumnal. They have autumn there.
Yeah.
Good autumn.
But
Good autumn in Virginia.
I don't know, it feels like the type of place, or maybe I'm thinking of Vermont, where...
Anything
Let's
with a V.
continue with
Anything
this, I'm
Vegas,
sorry.
Vermont,
Yes,
Virginia, good autumns.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, let me explain. My guest was the very first guest. He has his own studio, which is HERC Studios, HERC, which you'll find on TikTok and on YouTube. You can find him on Instagram as well. Yes, very nicely. When I started this, you might notice. So a recurring theme in all the episodes following it was that every guest would have a finance person called Paul.
Yes.
And Paul would frequently screw up, but in a nice way. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
It wasn't his fault. But he would consistently assume the country was making money when in fact they were heavily in debt.
Yes.
And it would always lead to people. Some people would be very angry, some people would be very nice. There was no Paul when I was starting this.
Yeah.
It just came about that Brian decided, what the fuck is wrong with Paul?
So he created
So
Paul.
he effectively created Paul. So well
good
done to
man,
him.
Brian.
Yeah, good intuition. So yes, I'm going to play this again. And yeah, do you want to hear some out of context quotes?
Yes.
So I don't think I did that the first time.
No, you didn't.
Okay, hear this.
I use public funds for personal gain, including the invasion of Florida. Jesus Christ, I think I have to fire you, Kevin.
Well,
you have put this poor man Paul through misery. He's 31 and he looks 85. What is wrong with you?
I can't believe you were nearly fired on your first episode.
It's surprising I did anymore.
Yeah.
My confidence is shaky at best on a good day. On my birthday. I had to listen to that again. I had to go through it once, then edit it. This is the fucking third time from the same person. Usually I only hear that once from someone. But yeah.
You poor thing.
Thanks. Thanks.
Well done for getting through it.
Yeah. Thanks, Brian. You fucking asshole. Okay, yes. So about to play it. There's nothing else to say.
Yeah.
Where do people find this?
You find this on
YouTube.
Yes.
Tyrant Podcast is one. On Blue Sky, Threads. I'm looking at you expecting to jump in, but that's all right. Twitter, well done.
Instagram,
Facebook at Kev Ryan Person.
Yes.
Kev Ryan Person. Yeah, that's it. Do you know? Did I tell you this? Someone that I can't remember who thought that Person was my last name.
You did tell me that, yeah.
It's a fine name.
Ryan is the middle name then, I assume?
I assume, Kev Ryan Person.
Yeah. That's
KR
not
Person.
the weirdest name,
Might
I suppose.
Be. Yeah, it could change in future. But yeah, there you go. All right. Enjoy, everyone.
Thanks,
some
everybody.
music. Say bye.
Bye.
In a passionate way.
Goodbye.
Oh. Yeah. So, hello everyone, whoever is listening and watching, and to my guest Brian Cutter. This is the Tyrants In Training podcast. This is my new podcast. I am Kevin Ryan. On this podcast, we are going to ask our guests what they would do if they were the ruler of their own country. This is purely hypothetical. I don't think this is going to happen anytime soon, but at least we've these questions answered, so in case that does come to pass. So yeah, this is actually the first effort at doing this, at least recorded. So today's guest, Brian Cutter, is actually officially the first ruler or king or queen or emperor or whatever you want to call yourself. Brian Cutter is a writer, actor, filmmaker of all sorts. You are the owner of HERC Studios. I don't know if HERC.
Yes, I am.
Is it HERC or is it HERC Studios?
HERC.
Yes.
HERC.
You don't know when it's all in caps, whether sometimes is it.
It is both. It is actually both. It is named. The name has a double meaning. It is both named after the C-130 Hercules, which is a military workhorse, and aircraft.
Yes.
Which is why the logo is the aircraft. It actually is a C-130.
Yes.
And it is also happens to be my two youngest sons' initials, Henry Edward and Robert Charles.
That is very good.
There you go. This is the first public admission that is where the name comes from. Did
you didn't plan the names to line up with the?
No, it actually I actually wanted to name the studio after the C-130 Hercules. And I was going to call it Hercules Studios, and I'm like, that's too damn long. We'll just call it HERC. And then, like, after we got incorporated, my wife noticed that lines up with the kids' initials. I'm like, oh crap, it really does. So yeah, it was just happenstance.
Kind of dependent on your audience, you can say either reason. You know, if it's a very sentimental audience, you know, you can say, well, it is for my children. They'll say, oh.
Exactly.
And if it's someone and they're more stoic, you can go with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. So again, it's about 20 questions. Running a full country takes, a lot of time. So I am going to be conscious somewhat of time. It's probably about an hour. You can think of me as just your advisor.
you know, as if you're in your courtroom and I'm just going to come in and ask you, look, what you want to do next. I think the first question you need to answer, I mean, we're not going to set up this country somewhere where there already is a country. So we're going to have to pop an island up somewhere in the world. So where would you put your country?
Oh, where would I put my country? Okay. Somewhere tropical. So let's make it the Caribbean. We'll make it a Caribbean country.
So you put it in, I'm going to get, I had a map here. So there we go. So if you're down near the Caribbean, you're prepared. I mean, I suppose maybe because you're in America, you're a bit more used to it than me in Ireland. But you're going to get that tropical weather with like hurricanes and stuff like that.
You're hurricane season. Yep.
Perfectly fine with that.
Yep. And hurricane season in the Caribbean is around May to November. So just for your own information.
So do you think if you're setting up this new country, you're going to, because you're going to have to, you know, people are going to flock into your new country. They're going to be aware of that. Are you going to make some allowances for that season to say, okay, look, around this time, we really need to hunker down?
I mean, yeah, obviously there's going to have to be some kind of either to evacuate the island country or to have somewhere to hunker down. So, you know, I mean, let's go crazy and just call up Vault Tech from Fallout and say, hey, build us a big old vault for hurricane season.
Where would you build that Vault Tech? I have not played that game.
Fallout is the name of the game,
yes.
But Vault Tech is the company within the game that builds these vaults. But yeah, where would I build it? It would be underground. And I mean, since I'm in a tropical island anyway, I know I should have said the South Pacific instead, but we'll stick with the Caribbean. I got to have a volcano layer. I can't.
Oh yeah,
volcano layer.
Yeah, I mean, so
we'll build the vault inside the volcano, and that'll be my lair. But then, you know, hurricane season's all right. Come on, everybody, come on in.
That would actually, I was going to say, but if it is going to be your lair, that could make a really good tourist point as well in the off season, right?
Exactly.
Who wouldn't want to go inside the volcano?
Come see Captain Doom's volcano lair. Could have guided tours. Yeah, it'd be great.
That would be pretty good, an extra revenue. So if you have your island in the Caribbean, do you have any idea what you'd name it?
Doom Island.
Oh, you're just going straight for Doom Island?
Oh yeah, let's get crazy. Let's get crazy.
When you have Doom Island announced and everything, would you have that kind of deep voice, or would it be Doom Island and then very happy imagery around?
Doom Island. Oh, a little too much smoke. Sorry.
Sounded a bit nervous, a bit scared.
Yeah. What I would do very seriously is I would announce it, Doom Island.
I think there was
and then have like all of the like upbeat, peppy music and the bright colors, and you know, everything's beautiful, and you know, that's the way I would announce it.
Maybe just as your advisor, if I may, after you have your Doom Island and in the happy music, just in between it, if you could have someone just do an audible like gulp, you know, I think that would
absolutely
be
perfect.
Yeah. Right, so on Doom Island in the Caribbean, what is your official title?
My official title. Well, I would just go by. I would have my name would be Brian Doom.
Brian Doom.
But everybody could call me His Royal Highness, Lord and Master of all he surveys, for short.
That'd be your short. Your Lord and Master.
Yes, that's for short. Yes.
Okay, your Lord and Master.
Official title would be Captain Doom, but His Royal Highness, Lord and Master of all he surveys, for short.
Just before I try and remember that and then write it down, what happens if people forget? Is there any punishment?
I mean, if they call me Captain Doom, no. Yeah. If they call me Brian and I don't know them, I'm sure the vault will have a dungeon somewhere that they can, you know, an oubliette that they can be thrown into.
The vault in the volcano.
Yes.
Is going to have a dungeon.
Why not?
Well, I just mean, will it get a bit hot? It seems.
Well, isn't that the point?
Yeah, but if someone calls you Brian and you're not familiar with them, you're going to send them down to a sauna / dungeon.
I mean, it's a spa day.
Right. But is that next? Yeah, but a spa day, or is it a spa 5 to 10 years?
We'll make it a day. I'm not a terrifying tyrant here.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. So you have your Brian Doom is kind of your title, and the rest of it is I got as far as your Lord and Master of all he surveys. Of all he surveys. Then you're on Doom Island in the middle of the Caribbean. Do you know what your flag would look like?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I would have to go with a pirate flag, but a specific one. I would go with Henry Avery's pirate flag. And if you Google that,
Henry,
it's pretty cool. I like it.
and if I actually add pirate flag instead of just Googling his name, it's like a sideway profile of the Skull and Bones, right?
Yes.
Yes. So would you make any modifications to that?
Let me take a look at it
because I wonder, is that copyrighted?
I doubt it.
Or pirates worried about copyright?
Because I mean, I think they enforce their own copyrights.
And he's not really able to nowadays.
Right, and yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm just like, no, I don't see how that would be copyright enforceable since he used it back in the 1700s.
Yeah, I don't think.
1700s. So
yeah, he wouldn't have updated it.
Yeah, I would say that I would say that's public domain at this point. Now, I as the tyrant dictator of Doom Island, would most definitely copyright it as our flag.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I like it. If you keep the color, the black and white.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Although I might have a few drops of blood on there. You know, a little little graphic of drops of blood red somewhere, just for fun. You know, add a pop of color.
I like how most of the little fun additions so far have been a dungeon in a volcano.
And blood.
Blood. Yeah. I did say before we started recording that.
Let me go back and remind you that is not a dungeon. It is a spa.
Dungeon.
Sorry, spungeon.
Spungeon. But yeah, that doesn't even sound vicious. Spungeon. So yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah. So your country has been set up now, and people are flocking in. Do you have any rules for people joining your country at the beginning? Is there only certain people coming in? Is there an amount, or is it just anyone? Come on in.
Well, I imagine there would have to be some kind of an occupancy rule, simply because it's an island. I mean, we can only fit so many people on there. But as far as banning certain people, Republicans, I wouldn't allow Republicans, conservatives of any kind.
Would that be for someone who will say is what's the word, economically conservative? I suppose they're all about the free market, but they're very liberal socially.
It depends. I think there would have to be a citizenship test, definitely, because it would depend. Because honestly, when somebody says economically conservative, that can mean a lot.
Yeah.
So I would have to narrow it down quite a bit. Like, no, we still are going to take taxes from you, but the taxes are going to go for stuff that everybody uses, like roads, bridges, etc.
Would you mention in your test, are they pro or anti-spungeon? Or would you keep that? Would that be more of a secret? No, that's not publicized.
I mean, who is anti-spa, really?
Right. Yes. I
mean, what kind of person would be anti-spa? I mean, actually, not that I would not let them in for being anti-spa, but they'd be boring.
But now that you mentioned spa, because you've said spa a few times, and I just realized I was thinking sauna, but spa is kind of the whole experience of it.
Right.
Several different. It's not just going into
mostly
sauna.
It's mostly a sauna, and it's got bars.
Right.
And bars. Not the fun alcohol kind of bars, but
piping hot bars that you can't.
So that's the spa experience. That's pretty much.
That's just a singular spa experience for 24 hours. Okay. Speaking of which, what type of? I think you might have answered this. What type of house do you live in? You're going into that volcano.
That's a good question. My house is not going to be extravagant. I'm not a gold on everything and tacky stuff everywhere. You know what? I'll tell you what the decor would be. Not necessarily the size. The size was a little too big for my taste. But if you've ever watched DC's Titans, the way they have Wayne Manor decorated, I really love that. They have like the navy blue, and then they have gold trimmed wainscoting. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yes.
So that would be the decor.
Would you have one butler there just for the kind of experience of?
Depending on how big the house is, I would probably need some kind of staff to maintain it. Definitely. But I mean, they would all be paid a reasonable wage, and
Do you think you're going to be doing a lot of your government responsibilities at the house, or will you have an office in your capital? Or
that's a good question. Again, we are. It depends on the amount of space we have. I imagine I would have a home office.
Yeah.
But probably have an actual government office to go to as well.
So when you have this place you're living in, when it comes to hurricane season, you're going into your your office in the volcano, right? So is that like the tropical White
House? We'll make the vault the government seat as well.
Well, while you're during that season.
That way all the infrastructure is there whenever a hurricane comes.
Yeah.
So that works.
Yeah, that works. So do you do so when you have a documentary crew coming to your country for the first time, when they come out of the airport and they get into the car and they're driving out, I think it's kind of a usual thing with airports where you have a sign saying welcome to Florida or welcome to Dublin. When the documentary crew drive out of your airport, what sign and picture is on your welcome billboard for everyone arriving into the country?
First of all, it would definitely be welcome to Doom Island. I would probably want the flag up there, so that like the flag would be the background. But to make it pretty, I think I'll change the flag and make it like, brighter, more festive colors. Like, I don't know, maybe the skull and crossbones would be fuchsia.
Would you change that every few months? Maybe at Christmas have it that Christmas green.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I like that. Yes. Change it for the holidays. Yes, absolutely.
Would you have any slogan underneath? I can't really think of any now, but you'll have Ireland, the island of 1,000 welcomes or whatever. Would you have Doom Island?
That is a good question. I would have to think on that a bit.
Oh, I mean, I'm your advisor. You can just say next, and I have to.
Next.
Boom. Okay, so Mr. Doom, are you allowed to call you Mr. Doom?
Sure.
Sure.
I mean, I didn't go to medical school, so I can't be Dr. Doom.
No, I don't think that'd be fair.
No.
Plus, I imagine Disney have more money than most countries now, so they'd probably sue about Dr. Doom.
True, because of Marvel, yeah, most definitely.
So what unusual list is your country top of in the world?
Oh, good question. I would say that it would probably be on the list for happiest place with a name like Doom Island.
I would. So do you think that you may be the only country on that list?
Probably, but I would be at the top.
There might be accusations that your country actually paid for this.
These accusations are absolutely ridiculous,
right?
And they have no basis in fact, and anyone saying them needs to prove it in court.
Right. I mean, fair enough. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to. It just seems like it might come off like you were looking to be the top of a list somewhere, so you organized this survey for, what was it? It was for the happiest place on earth called Doom Island.
Yes.
Right.
Well, the happiest place on earth with like a negative sounding name. That's
okay.
With a scary name.
What would be? Can you name any other country with a scary name?
Transylvania.
Is that a country?
Well, it was. It's Romania now, but actually, I think it's a region in Romania.
I think it is a region.
Good
but
point.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, yeah.
They'll be second on the list.
Yeah. The list is ever growing. You can assure the courts of that.
I can assure the courts that the
okay.
United States would be third on that list.
That could be, yes. Honestly, I think the United part kind of saves it, because United is generally positive sounding.
True, but yeah. Anyway.
So anyway, what I do have bad news. Unfortunately.
What's that?
What scandal do people find out about involving you?
Involving me personally?
Just that they're like, oh my God, that's I don't know, should he be
So I might have used some government funds to bribe a director to put me into a Marvel film.
I mean, when you're talking about using some funds, are you talking the healthcare has to shut down for 6 months? Or I mean, how big is the Marvel movie?
We'll say I trickled it out of the slush fund,
I suppose
nothing major was affected by it.
But it's still pretty it's still pretty bad.
I used public funds for personal gain.
I suppose the real scandal is that, unfortunately, do you have any idea what Marvel movie?
Oh shoot. Well, the one I'd really love to be in would be Black Panther 2. Let's go with that.
I suppose to make it more of a scandal, I think the problem was that when it was released, people were all right with it. It was okay. It was one of those movies. You're like, yeah, it was good. So that I think that might really annoy your citizens more, that it wasn't a memorable. He aced it.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
But yeah, do you have a name for this scandal? Doomgate?
Panthergate.
Cantergate, yeah. Can you tell me what lame, easily see-through excuse do you give to the media to fend off any scandal criticism?
Oh, no, there would be no lame excuse. Look, I wanted to be in a Marvel film.
You would just go straight up like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I tell it like it is.
What are you going to do? Come at me, bro. What are you going to do?
Me. My name is Doom. I'm going to...
Right?
Doom does what Doom does.
Exactly. Doom do what Doom do. Say that fast 10 times.
I mean, if you put that on the newspapers...
That would make a hell of a headline. Doom do what Doom do.
Doom do what Doom do. Put T-shirts and everything.
Dude!
See?
There's my slogan.
Teflon Doom.
Exactly. Teflon Doom.
Yeah, just any time you get caught with anything. Like you actually did shut down the healthcare system to make Black Panther 3.
Oh, I would no, I would never do that. I would never do that.
But then it's just, hey, Doom do what Doom do. Just
Doom do what Doom do. I mean,
the spungeons are full, and yeah, fair enough.
There's my slogan on the sign. Doom do what Doom do.
If I must say, that is very well handled, that scandal, because not only did you come out of it unscathed, but you got a bump in the polls, if anything.
Sweet. I like bumps.
That's good. What seemingly mundane thing in life is actually banned in your country? So
let me think. Okay, I'm gonna do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to initiate an absolute zero tolerance policy on texting while driving.
If someone calls you Brian, they don't know you very well, they're going to the spungeon.
Correct.
So that seems to be a kind of a light enough punishment because it's only for a day. Whereas if someone is driving around the road, they look at their phone, start texting while they're driving, what happens then?
So if they're just caught texting while driving, like a police officer pulls them over for it, basically we'll do a 6-month driver's license suspension.
Right.
For the first time.
Yeah.
For the second offense, it will be complete loss of driving privileges on the island forever. If they actually cause an accident, we'll give them a spa month. Let's take that down a bit. If they actually cause an accident, we'll give them a spa week.
Right.
If they kill somebody in that accident, it's a spa month and loss of driving privileges for the rest of the life,
etc.
Right.
Yes. After the month, if they come, well, I suppose
they're not going to come out. They're not going to come out after the month.
So basically, debt is what you're saying. You are being bulled to. Okay, yeah, it's fine. By the way, if you are in there for a day, do you get fed?
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's
Would you get like cold food or hot food? So again,
there would be a menu. There'd be a menu you can order from.
Continental breakfast, or
we do provide you with plenty of water. But if you get the spa month, you don't get water. You just get alcoholic drinks.
Oh well, then that's just a horrible, torturous death. But yeah, no text.
But you won't feel it.
Would you have in that instance? I thought of the other day. Would you have there's paths for people to walk, and then there's cycle lanes. Would you have text lanes
for people walk a text lane?
Yeah, I think this is in the Netherlands. I think where there's lanes, on your sidewalk, or on the sidewalk you have people walking. Then you have a lane here for people cycling. That's where they're going to go, and then another one for people texting
while walking.
Even to go there. Yeah.
That's actually rather brilliant. Yeah, sure, why not?
Could you have
that sounds like it would keep a lot of shenanigans to a minimum.
Yeah, I remember reading that over a year ago anyway, and I thought it was coming into Ireland, but I haven't actually seen it.
Right.
So the entire world, unfortunately, goes to war. World War III occurs.
Bollocks. Okay.
The only thing is, every country has to go to war with another country.
Sure, no problem.
So the UN rings you and says, "Who are you picking?
Okay.
What you want to do?" And can you tell us why?
Yes. I'm going to go to war with Florida, just Florida.
Okay.
And the reason is number one, I am a small country, so I can't take on, maybe Rhode Island, but I like Rhode Island, so we'll stick with Florida.
Right.
And it's because all of the people in Florida are either old or they're already dying of COVID, so it'd be pretty easy.
Okay, so you were attacking Florida, so I mean, you are standing in front of your people outside your modest, fancy, classically furnished house, and you're telling them we're going to war with Florida. So when one of them, or maybe the foreign press, puts up their hand and says, "Excuse me,
sure.
Sorry, so you are going to war with the U.S. Army?"
No. Florida doesn't have any army bases. They have a very small Navy. Well, they have a small Navy base in Key West. They have a bigger one in Jacksonville. And then there's a couple of Air Force bases. But I think some greased palms to certain commanders.
Yes.
Right.
And you're just going to be making it clear.
Right. And
Listen,
to be honest with you, I'm not trying to go to war with people, so it's going to be totally symbolic. It's basically going to be me and an entourage of bodyguards, so like maybe 5 people walking into Florida, planting the Doom Island flag and saying, Florida's ours now.
You could do the Caligula method where he went to Britain because he needed a big epic victory to impress his people. But when he went up there, he couldn't get his men to actually cross the sea to get into Britain from France.
Okay.
So they were about to mutiny on him, and he said, well, I can't. Yeah, what can I do? I'm going to have to go back to Rome with the guys. But what he said, what I'll do before I go back is he rounded up about, I don't know, a couple of hundred of them. And the ones who didn't look as Roman as the rest, to him, he dressed them up in rags and whatever, peasants' clothing, and then put them in shackles. And when they came back into Rome, he said, look, I'm after defeating the Britons. And I mean, I'm sure half the Romans were going, geez, that's Craig, I know him. Hold on a minute. But he called, I'm Britannicus, conquered the Britons, it was tough victory. So you could kind of do something like that when you get to Florida.
We could absolutely do that. I mean, we could find some decent people in Florida and just be like, hey, come on over to Doom Island. The only catch is you have to come into the island in shackles and rags. But once you're there, we got you. You'll be hooked up and then come back. Yeah, exactly. I conquered Florida.
And I let him off then.
Yeah.
Conquered it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You guys now have full asylum and you are Doom Island citizens now.
If they wanted to go back home, would you be like, hey, go on? Nobody's paying.
Well, no, I mean, that's what I would do while I was still in Florida. I'd be like, hey, anybody who wants to come, just Yeah. That process would be handled in Florida.
That's good. Do you think that the people in Doom Island, do we have a name for the Doom Islanders? Are we Doomers? Are they Doomers?
Doomians?
Doomians?
Yes, Doomians, because then whenever I do something on Doom Island, I can say, it's all for you, Doomians.
So the Doomians, when they're sitting down and watching their TV and you're on TV kind of, I don't know, hopping off the plane or the boat or whatever with your conquered foes.
My conquered slaves, yes.
Yeah. Are they a little bit confused when they see people from Florida, which they think, is still United States, and they're in rags and peasants' clothing and shackles, and they're like, huh.
Well, I mean, rags for the United States, so it'd be like Wrangler jeans and Hanes t-shirts.
Yeah, I think that works. So then when you're back and World War III has ended, you're fine. You're good. Your news station is pro administration, obviously. Heavily pro administration. So what fantastical fact about you does your news station repeat to your citizens? Just to remind them how great you are.
That I'm also, well, for one thing, that I conqured Florida.
Right.
Like, that would be on loop. In fact, that'd be a national holiday.
The day you conquered it. Do you have any day in mind?
VF Day. Yeah. Victory in Florida Day.
Oh, yeah. Would you let people call it VIF Day?
Yeah, I kind of like that, actually. VIF Day. Yeah.
VIF Day, yeah.
Yeah, let's make that happen. So that'd be a national holiday. And my national holidays are going to be national holidays for everybody. So, you ain't going to go to the store. You ain't going to go to, McDonald's.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to be at work.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. I like that. I think
it ain't going to be, it's not going to be a national holiday just where executives get the day off.
Yeah.
Everybody has the day off. So, you'll know when it's coming, so prepare for it.
When your news station is saying, now for our weekly or nightly show on biffing in Florida.
Yes.
Yeah, sounds VIF Day. My apologies.
No worries.
In that story about how you conquered Florida, is there any particular tale they tell about, a brave feat you did?
Oh, God. I'm sure that there will be a tale of heroism where, one of these, how shall I say this, diseased elderly Floridians attempted to take out one of my bodyguards, knocked him to the ground, and I leapt over him and took out the diseased elderly person.
Oh, I'm thinking like in Logan with X-23. Do you know the shot? Just yes. Yeah. Very good.
Exactly.
I really hope, and again, this is the first show, but I really hope we have a lot of people from Florida listening, and every week people attack Florida.
That'd be great.
That would
be great. Hypothetically, attack Florida.
Hypothetically, yes. Verbally and hypothetically. What celebrations are organized for the people on your birthday to celebrate you?
Oh, goodness.
I
think, since it's a Caribbean island, I think what we're going to do is we're going to have a beach day. I think it'd be a nice big old cookout on the beach. And then as the day draws to a close, sun starts going down, we'll put up some nice bonfires on the beach and then have a fireworks show. I think that'd be great.
Like, you mean a fireworks show to rival New Year's? Do you know, in New Year's they usually show around the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not trying to set the island on fire, but yeah, I mean, it'd be a nice. It doesn't have to rival anything, but I'd get the Disney Imagineers to come down. I'd slip them a little bit to come on down and hook us up.
Would you let the people who are in the spungeon out for the night to partake?
For my birthday? Depends on what they're in there for. If it's for calling me Brian, you know what? We'll do that. My birthday, amnesty for everybody in the spungeon.
But not for the people who text and drove.
Well, they still lose their driving privileges, but as far as getting out of the dungeon, yeah, they can come out of the spungeon. So
yes,
the most yeah.
What if someone, just on that, what if someone called you something like Bri, like they were overly familiar? Is that a day still, or is that an extra?
I'd just be like,
just don't let them out. Yeah, just
don't do that.
Yeah, okay. Oh, but they wouldn't get into the spungeon. They would just be like, no. Okay. Yeah. So what photo op do you organise to assure citizens you're in total control? It's been a bit of wavering with the Doomians. They're like, is he really with it? I don't know. Does he have
in control of what? Like, what's the context? Like,
well, I suppose they're all thinking. I mean, I don't know. Does he really know what he's doing anymore? I have a feeling.
Oh, Jesus Christ! No, I very rarely know what the hell I'm doing.
Oh, but I mean, they're thinking. I mean, his advisors are the ones who's actually running the country. He's doing nothing. No, maybe we should ignore him.
I'm not doing nothing. I'm doing work, but
So I think, I think you need a photo op. I think you need something to make yourself look.
I still need a photo op. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. How about let's do something fun with the Doomians, where basically it's going to be more of a socialist tyrannical government. So it's going to be the basic needs are going to be healthcare and housing and all that will be taken care of for you. So that's not really going to be an issue. We're not going to have homeless,
right?
And we're not going to have people that can't afford their medication and stuff.
In North Korea, they usually have the leader go to a factory, and he's around everyone.
Yeah, I'm thinking something. Well, I was thinking something along the lines of like, if there's like a children's hospital or something, I would go and hand out some cookies and drinks and entertain the kids for a little bit, that kind of thing.
I'm just suggesting this again as your advisor, but it might be a good idea if you can get a photo of maybe you pointing to maybe an X-ray where all doctors looking as if you're telling them what's wrong, and they're like,
oh yeah, that always works. Nobody ever sees through stuff like that.
No, I think that would do well. It would.
You're a terrible advisor.
It plays surprisingly well to the over 95-year-olds. They love this.
Sure, okay, but we're sending all them to Florida anyway. They're probably going to wind up moving there.
Oh, it seems like it seems like even though you've attacked Florida, you have a closeness to it, at least in, I was going to say trade, but they are people. Yeah.
I was joking about sending them there, but they'll probably wind up moving there.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
I mean, Florida is heaven's waiting room, so.
Yes. So there actually, I do have another bit of bad news.
If you're in Florida, I just want to assure you, that shit's true.
I actually would like to go to Florida someday. So the bad news is an awful leader of another country. Now, when I say awful leader, you can imagine whatever leader you want.
Okay. So we're talking like Gaddafi level kind of.
Just someone that it's a polar opposite to your ideals, morals, politically, everything. Right?
Okay.
An awful leader of another country comes to yours for a key diplomatic trip. This is important, okay? This can ensure the end of World War III. Everyone, basically, you have to entertain them in some way.
Oh, God, so this World War III hinges on me. Okay.
How do you...
No pressure,
but how do you treat them while making sure nobody thinks that you're now allies with them? It's like that scene where you're in the room with them, you have to shake hands with them and then sit down and talk about what great talks you're going to have.
Yeah, I think honestly, I'm picturing basically Putin, and I'm gonna have to go with with the Obama method. I think, you know, Obama was very polite, very cordial, but like, listen, bud, I ain't taking any of your bullshit.
So if he's standing there and he's saying, yes, in our country, our new policy is to force drivers to text while driving. We think it's a shame. Anyone who would be denied their right to drive, it's a human right. Okay. Are you just standing there, not even looking at him, just you know, let him talk?
I'm gonna be like, no. My response to that would be, well, you know, President Putin, you feel free to run your country how you feel fit, how you see fit. This is Doom Island, and we go by what I say. So there it is. Doom do what Doom do, baby.
Putin do nothing. Yeah. Okay, so the only thing is, as he leaves after several days speaking, I imagine you would have given him a good look at the volcano, as if it's like, oh, to show him around.
Oh yeah, we'll take him to all the tourist traps. That's not a problem. He'll get the VIP tour, but whatever smack he talks is just gonna be like, look, dude, that's fine in your country, but this is not your country, so.
Yeah, I think you handle that situation well. I think World War III is averted. So yeah, well done. You, unfortunately, as soon as he's gone and you've solved world peace, you have a problem with a coup attempt in your country. Someone has tried to get rid of you, but it's been stopped, thankfully. But the traitors have been apprehended. What do you do with them?
That is a good question. You know, I got to be honest with you. I'm gonna want to sit down with them and find out why do you think I'm such a bad why the coup attempt? What is your complaint? What is your gripe?
Can I
you
actually
decided it was a coup?
I'm going to just throw other questions just so I have more of an idea of where your political system works. On your country, are you allowing elections for anyone? Like, what I'm saying is, are you allowing elections for a Senate of 100 senators, we'd say? Or
yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, yeah, I'm the dictator, so no, nobody replaces me. But yeah, I mean, there would be some sort of a parliamentary body to represent the people, and yes, they would be free and fair elections.
Okay, you wouldn't just.
However, in order to be a candidate for those elections, you have to basically you have to prove that you have the qualifications to be a representative of your people. Because some of this crap that's going on here in the U.S. with some of these congressional members, it's like, girl, you just got your GED. Come on now. So there's going to be some minimum requirements.
Would you have, just on that, would you have, what's the term? Well, term limits, I think, is the term.
That's a good question.
Because isn't there one person, Chuck Grassley, who is 90 and is...
I think there would definitely have to be, if not term limits, definitely a mandatory retirement age. Yeah, I would go with one or the other, either term limits or a mandatory retirement age.
Because when you were saying, I think it is a good idea, the whole they have to be qualified in something. They have to actually,
Yeah.
But I was reminded of, there's an Irish politician. He used to be the Prime Minister. I think he might be retired now. He's been a politician for 40 years. But when they would describe him, they'd say he's a former teacher. Now, I think he was a teacher for about a year. Okay. And then 40 years of politician. So what I suppose I'm getting at, I mean, if I'm a senator and I say, well, I'm actually a doctor. I've been a doctor for 2 years. And then 40 years later, you say, what are you again? Oh, I'm a doctor. I would suggest, no, you're not.
I mean, it depends. I mean, if you maintain your licensing and all that, I mean, that's a gray area.
Oh, okay.
A gray area.
But I suppose, yeah, just to get back to your coup attempt that you stopped.
Sure.
I'm just going to say, so if you want to sit down with them, I'm going to just put out that there was 50 out of the 100 senators who were involved.
Okay.
And they're sitting down. I mean, they're just saying...
I would like to think that as the tyrant of my little socialist nation, that I would listen to the people a little bit before it would get to a coup attempt. But apparently, I don't know, things happen.
I suppose that is the thing where some are just power hungry themselves. They think they can do a better job.
I mean, clearly, and to those, it's like, okay, yeah, we're going to have to go ahead and revoke your citizenship and exile you from Doom Island.
And you're perfectly fine that when they're exiled to, you don't care where they go? Or are you going to?
No, don't care. Wherever they want to go is fine with me. Like, especially if it's an ally nation, like probably not Putin. I probably wouldn't warn Putin, but if it's an ally nation, I'd be like, you got this guy coming and he's a little power hungry. So just FYI.
Do you think there's any problem if those 50 senators were all for replacing you? So they might have to be exiled. Now, if, let's say, they wind up in a hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada, they've been exiled to there.
All 50 of them?
But they were all eager to get rid of you, yeah.
No, but they're all going to the same place?
Oh, no, you wouldn't have that, no, would you?
No, can't have that. That's dangerous. No, they all got to pick a different place. Okay. Now, so what they do after that is their own business.
So they all pick different places around the world.
Right.
And then they all fly into the Hilton and...
You know what? I can't control that at that point.
Do you think there's any problem if they start releasing, putting out media releases saying that, right beside the big wheel in the casino, they're saying, they're the real government, you don't know what you're doing, you've lost your mind. We have evidence that in Florida, you didn't actually conquer anything, you just rounded up a lot of people who wanted to come in. Any of that bother you, or are you just like, nah, don't care, not even dealing with it?
Well, okay, so first of all, I'm gonna. Are we assuming that the entire coup attempt, including what led up to it, and my conversations with them afterwards, were documented somehow, like video?
Oh, you can decide that, yeah, if you want that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
We would have to document all that.
Yeah.
And then basically, like, all right, you know what? Yeah, come on, I'm a freaking island nation. I'm not going to actually go to war with anybody. That's stupid. I'm not stupid. So yeah, we did a little dog and pony show. Who cares?
We all had fun.
Yeah, we all had a good time. And every one of these people that I brought from Florida, they were not prisoners. They were volunteers. They wanted to come here.
I'm just going to put my hand as the foreign press again, by the way.
Sure, what's up?
What that action is. Excuse me, Mr. Doom, or Brian Doom. Captain Doom. I just wanted to ask that, the UN resolution on World War III is every country has to pick another country to fight. But now you're saying that you didn't actually attack Florida. Do you foresee any problems with that?
I'm sorry. Do we have a representative at the UN, or did they just tell us to go F? Do we have a seat? Do we have a seat?
There's a seat there. I don't know if you actually put someone there, but there was a seat.
Okay.
Near the back. Yeah, that was fine.
Well, I mean, if the UN wants to sanction us for that, whatever. If they want a formal apology for not jumping on their war, okay, I'll issue them a formal apology. Whatever. Yes.
Sorry. Yes. Putin friend news. You acted all tough in front of Mr. Putin, my good friend. And now you're saying that, that was in the name of world peace for World War III, but now you aren't even involved in World War III. So do you owe an apology to Mr. Putin? A big one?
I probably do, but he's never going to get it. So there's that.
Okay. And one other thing, on the guys who are in Vegas, are you allowing their media releases to get into your country? Because, around the world with fake news and all these sort of things.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I am not. What's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, I lost a word. I am not censoring any communication whatsoever.
Oh, okay, good. I think in fairness, despite the start being a bit rocky with the sweat dungeon, I think you're holding on to a pretty fair society so far. As you know, because everyone knows it, Home Alone 2 had a former president in it. That I'm not sure how Home Alone 2 was, how well received it was or not back in the day, but if you had to, what poorly received sequel to a franchise? And by the way, what I mean is we make up a sequel.
Okay.
So Terminator 57 or something.
Gotcha. Or a film that never had a sequel to begin with.
Yes. What poorly received sequel of a franchise do you actually show up in, and in what role are you? You could just be yourself, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So poorly received. So this is separate from Black Panther.
This was a cash grab, yeah. This did not do well.
Total cash grab. Oh, let's see. What poorly received sequel would I show up in? Let's say, okay, here's what I'll do. I will do a voice in Ice Age 23.
What time period are we setting Ice Age 23 in?
I'm not the director. I
don't know. I
didn't write it.
That's fine.
They just asked me to be a voice in it, and I'm like, sure, sounds fun.
Are you a mammal? Well, I suppose they're all mammals, aren't they?
No, you know what? I tell you what, I don't know. Now, I don't know if this has already come up in the existing movies, so if it has, I apologize. I will play Sid's long-lost dad. How about that?
Oh, okay. Yes. Sid is the mammoth, right?
No, Sid is the sloth.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, yeah. To be fair, you want to say that, maybe that's come up before, but I mean...
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure...
But that would be the character I'd like to play.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure The Force Awakens had several moments that might have come up before in a similar way, so you might get away with that in a sequel. Do you think there'd be anything besides your voice? Do you think just because you have the whole "Doom do what Doom do" slogan,
Right.
do you think your character would say something like that? You know, "Sid do what Sid do," and everyone goes, "Oh, you're trying to cash in."
No, but here's what I would do. I would probably drop the word doom as many times as I could.
Yes. Do you think that'd be like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Batman and Robin? That might have been Batman and Robin.
Yes.
Trying to drop as many puns as he could.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I would be that terrible with the doom.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It sounds like a fun movie. It sounds like a good. Yeah, it sounds like you.
It sounds like it'd be very well received.
Yeah, I think you.
Well, maybe I didn't answer the question properly, I guess.
But I think it might be one of those situations where the movie was poorly received. However, people made note that, I mean, it seemed like you knew it was going to be a poor movie, and you decided to like
Raul Julia
it up. Oh yeah, exactly.
Raul Julia?
Yeah, Raul. Yeah. Even if you get half
down with that.
Half to that level, then you've had a good career as a ruler/actor. I mean, when you come back from filming, the good news is that we actually have money in the account. We're doing well. So we're going to erect a giant statue of you.
Oh, please no. Please
we just need to ask what pose and moment from your life that you want us to depict. Again, you are the ruler. We can't force this on you, but
if you're gonna erect a damn statue, erect a statue of Sid's sloth dad. That's the one that you're gonna. That's the statue. Erect a statue of my character from Ice Age 23. That's the one we're gonna go with.
Oh, you know what? Just because I'm trying to think of like the pose you would do and everything. But Sid is mad into acorns, right?
No, that's Scrat. You're thinking of Scrat.
Yes. Okay. I was going to
say, but that would actually, I could do Scrat's long lost dad, and then the pose would be Scrat finally holding the acorn, like, ah!
And you could have Doom underneath, but the two acorns as the O.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. I imagine the way this is sounding with the giant statue of a character from Ice Age, a long running franchise at this point. Your Doom Island is going to be awash in iconography of Ice Age
and tourism cash, man, and of course. So Ice Age is DreamWorks, right? So yes, there would have to, we would have to,
some relationship between DreamWorks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're not stealing here. We're negotiating a partnership.
Would you would heavily campaign to get them filming on the island?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Shit, I might even build a studio. That's, you know what? Instead of a statue, we might use that money to build a studio just for DreamWorks.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough. I think that's good. As I said, you're the
or at least go halvesies.
Would DreamWorks come in for criticism for filming on an island that leaves people to die by spungeon?
And if that's the case, then we might have to revisit our punishment.
We look into it, maybe an
apology
committee
tour
or something.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. So then, I mean, to be honest, Paul checked the accounts wrong. We actually have no money. We're actually bankrupt. Sorry. We need.
Okay. First of all, Paul is fired.
Literally.
Well, hold on. Is Paul the one who reported that we had money first?
He's the one who reported there was a coup as they were running in the door behind him.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and he did report that there was loads of money. Yeah. He's done a few things.
I'm sorry, he's fired because he obviously he fucked up.
Literally, or I mean, is he?
No, literally, no, fired like he no longer has that job.
I just want to mention it is your birthday again, with all the amnesty. So
Jesus Christ,
is he? But he's still fired. Everyone left out of the thing, but he's gone.
Okay, but we have no money. What am I supposed to do? Why do we have no money? First of all, I want an investigation. Where did the money go? I made a shit ton of money doing the voice of Scrat's dad in Ice Age. Where's this money?
It was poorly received, the movie, and it didn't. They were paying you more on you get 20% of the earnings.
The back end, man.
Yeah, that's. Sorry, Paul did the contracts again.
All right, so my agent is fired then.
Yes, that was Paul.
Paul is my agent too?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
First of all, no. You know what? Stop. Because I'm going to tell you right now. Here's the problem. Paul's doing too much. Paul is working too hard. Why are we making Paul do all this shit? Where is the rest of my cabinet?
Half of them are gone to Vegas to investigate.
They didn't have replacements?
Paul said that he'd be fine.
No. So okay. So when we evicted these 50 guys,
yes,
I'm sorry, 50 people, they would have to have replacements. Either their under would step up, or we would have to have a special election to get their replacements. Come on, man.
We're like in mid-election. That's why we were like, Paul seems to be on the ball here. And yeah, that's. But he's fired.
But anyway. God, I mean, give Paul some assistance at least.
He's one of those.
Paul, you are unfired. I am so sorry, but we are going to start distributing your responsibilities a little bit.
I can do it. I don't mind. I'll do it all.
No.
Don't.
One job, Paul. Just one job.
Are you sure? I'll help.
No, one job. No, I want you focused, buddy. I want you focused.
What do you want me to do? I'm just admin, so I just admin everything.
Oh God. Okay, Kevin, hire Paul some assistance.
Okay. Paul's the HR, so do I go to him for the seat?
Jesus fuck. Kevin, how did you set this joint up, man?
I went to Florida and I met Paul, and he said, "Listen, I can cut your costs and earn you money."
Kevin.
Yes, Captain Doom.
Bruh, I want one person in a job. I don't want one person doing all of the jobs.
Right.
That's not fair to them, man. Paul, do you sleep? Do you have a family?
Right. No, my family left me. My family left me. I'm good for work.
Did they leave you because Kevin made you do all the fucking work?
No, I'm a workaholic. What can I say? Glug.
No. All right, so we're gonna give Paul a weed allotment every month. He needs to take it down. And Kevin, you need to hire some more people. We can't. This is not enough people to run a government, Kevin.
A couple of more. I'm right on it. That's fine.
No, a lot more.
A lot of couples in. What? By the way, just on the question, we do need to start making money quick. So I'm going to spend more money hiring people. But are we doing anything to
Where are we at on tourism dollars?
The Doom Do thing is kind of plateauing now. That phase is gone. And
Come up with a new slogan. That's job number 1. What's next? What else?
Ice Age hasn't done as well as we hoped. The tourism from Ice Age hasn't really kicked off, to be honest. And
I'm glad I didn't commission that statue then, Jam.
Yeah, they're not currently planning on making another Ice Age. They're going to give it a few months.
Okay. Smart.
So I don't know what the studio's doing either, but yeah, I don't know. Paul keeps coming in with ideas, but I'm like, no, Paul, don't listen to you. Get out of there.
No. If Paul has ideas, that's fine. Paul needs to take a breather. Paul needs a break.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I don't actually quite know at the minute. If you have any ideas, just a quick bit of an injection. Do I raise taxes? They're pretty high with all the socialist policies, but
right. Raise taxes on everybody making more than $500,000 a year.
Sorry, Paul, but yeah, okay.
God damn it!
He's too half the government job.
Sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paul. Let's see. Who are we tight with right now on the international scene?
I don't know. You're the man who looks after
DreamWorks. We're tight with DreamWorks.
Yes.
Can we borrow some money?
I mean, how I'm trying to think of the last movie DreamWorks might have done if they it was a big hit, but
damn, I should have picked a Disney movie. Damn it.
I mean, do you try and move their whole operation to Doom Island? Maybe give them some incentive.
I would definitely campaign. I would campaign for that. Yeah, so give them all sorts of incentive. Well, not tax incentives because they gonna pay their taxes.
Yes.
But
You could name the island for a month as Dreamworks Island. Think of the tourism comes in then, and then put it back.
Okay. I would be down for, I would be down for selling DreamWorks the naming rights for a year.
For a year?
Yeah, what do you think of that?
That's surely, you're talking millions.
Yeah, I am talking millions,
yes.
And don't call me Shirley.
Yes, that must be a week in the spungeon for Shirley. Okay, I think that has got the IMF off your back for a bit, at least. Oh, I have 2 last questions for you to finish off. So your country has gone soccer or football mad, whichever one you want to call it.
Football. So
the World Cup is on. Unfortunately, I mean, you picked a bit of an awkward one, so I'm going to say, unfortunately, I see, usually I would add in here your World War III named rival, which would be Florida. But since you have a pretty good rapport with them, I'm going to say, unfortunately, Russia have knocked your team out of the World Cup.
Bollocks.
They did it in a blatantly cheating way. They actually picked up the ball, kissed it, stuck their finger up at you, and then threw it in the net. And the referee, who was from Russia.
What did they do after they kissed it? Because I missed that.
Oh, they stuck their finger up directly at you in the stands and then threw it in the net. And the referee laughed and then went 1-0 and finished it. The game was only 28 seconds long.
What? Where's the other 89 minutes and
the referee called 30. It. He said, no, game's over.
Holy shit.
Anyway, the worst thing that happened is after that, the leader of Russia made some mocking remarks when reporters asked him, should Doom Island get a
DreamWorks Island?
Sorry. Should DreamWorks Island get a what's the word I'm forgetting now?
Yeah, rematch.
A rematch because of the situation. They just mocked you. They went, "Don't be sore losers, hey." I don't know why. In response, do you have anything? What would you tweet or write on any of your social media platforms as a response to this ridiculous sporting travesty?
Let's see. Let me draft this. I would draft a tweet that just said, "Great 28-second game, Russia."
I mean, that's so cutting in its harsh bit of passive aggressiveness. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that might certainly top a million. It'll be on Twitter, right? So it'll top a million.
Oh, yeah.
It's easy.
Oh, yeah.
The last question I have, after a bona fide success of a government, whatever you want to call it, it's about time you're thinking you're going to step down. You're finishing up. You've done everything you can. So
retiring.
You're retiring. You have called all your people, your Doomians. We're not calling them Dreamworkians, are we?
No, they didn't pay for those rights.
No. Okay, Doomians. You've called them to your
office. We could renegotiate that contract. I'm just saying.
Maybe in year 2 we can see how the IMF are and we can.
Absolutely.
Okay. I feel like because Doom Island did this never been done before deal with a company to rename it. Suddenly somewhere like there's a Disney Peninsula or something.
Okay.
There's the Cape of Good
Mouse
HBO. you know.
Okay.
But anyway, so the Doomians have all gathered outside your residency. They've just been told something momentous is about to happen. I suppose you walk out wherever onto a balcony or whatever you have, and you are going to tell them who's going to become your heir.
Okay.
And I suppose what would you tell your Doomians? Well, they're going to be very.
My heir is going to be my son, which. He's only 6 now, so I'm assuming this is going to be when he's 26 or something like that. And then I'm just going to say, all right, I'm out.
And everyone is just instinctively looking to Paul, who is crestfallen, but is...
Jesus! No! They should be looking at my son!
But so do they know your son? As in, do they know him? Has he been
I thought we just introduced him.
No, but what I suppose I mean is, I know obviously it works a little bit different, but if Barack Obama had stood on the White House and said, well, the election is over, here's Malia, and then ran off, you'd go, oh, okay, what does she do? I don't know. I don't know her very well. I know, obviously, and she seems nice, but I have no idea.
That's on him. That's on him at that point. I'm out.
Oh, okay. And you think, that's what I mean, as I said.
Him as in my son, not as in Malia.
Yes.
I know Molly is a girl, but
yes, yeah. And so you think you just skip you skip Paul, who's been doing half the work for half the time.
Yes, because goddamn Paul needs to retire too. Holy shit, Paul.
Paul,
what are you, 80?
Paul
you look 80, Paul.
Paul is actually 31.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Paul, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Please, Paul, please retire.
Every crack
I want Paul to have his salary for the rest of his life, sitting on the beach drinking Mai Tais. That's what I want for Paul.
Honestly, he's one of those people. As soon as he stops working, he's not happy. So if
Kevin.
you can, I'm just saying, Paul was,
Okay.
you know.
All right. So what's Paul doing now?
You actually, just to find out, he was given one job, but he never knew what it was. Yeah. He's just been taunting the people in the spungeon because he doesn't know what else he's been doing.
Did Paul have any kind of credentials or qualifications? Did you even ask?
He worked in a call center for 9 months. He was the he was the team leader in billing.
All right.
So he dealt with
that qualifies him. What is his job anyway, Kevin?
Administrator for the government.
Okay, what does that entail? Did you ever define the damn job?
I said to look after.
Jesus Christ, I think I have to fire you, Kevin.
Well,
you have put this poor man Paul through misery. He's 31 and he looks 85. What is wrong with you?
To be honest, you can't fire me only because I'm just a disembodied voice in your head. But Paul there. Anyway, either way,
a whole lot.
You don't have to really worry about Paul, I suppose, because you are just saying to your people, I'm out, and you zoom out of there, and your son.
Yeah, but I'm still worried about Paul. I didn't realize all this shit about Paul. Damn.
You're going to live in the country, though, I take it, are you? Or are you going to retire?
Yes. Oh, yeah, no, I'm going to live in the country.
I mean, you can't, I suppose you can't really take Paul with you then. Unless do you hire Paul as
your
butler?
Yes, I'm gonna hire Paul as my personal assistant.
There you go.
And his job is going to be sit on the beach and drink Mai Tais.
No, we've looked after Paul. Your country is still standing. You haven't started any other war. I think the UN are pretty happy with you, even though they're probably still like suing your country over not partaking in World War III.
Probably, but I am gonna tell my son, just as an aside, like, hey, buddy, hire some more people, because just hire some more people, a lot more people.
And your Doomians are probably staunch Dreamworks employees and fans at this point in the future.
Okay.
But other than that, I think that. I mean, there's worse countries in the world now, right?
I think I did pretty well.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting country.
I think so. I think I want to do this for real now.
No, see, it does.
Including the invasion of Florida.
Yeah.
We will all be masked. Everybody will be masked.
Yes. I mean, I'm surprised that the volcano didn't come into it more often, because I thought at one point you were going to start throwing people into it. I thought Paul was going to be thrown into it when you said he was fired, but he seemed to save himself.
No, God, poor Paul.
So yeah, that's the first episode of Tyrants in Training. Not really sure why it was Tyrants in Training. Unfortunately, I didn't realize the acronym associated, but too late now. And yeah, so thank you, Brian Cutter.
Anytime, sir. That was fun.
Captain Doom. Captain Doom. Did you landed on Captain Doom?
Captain Doom, yes.
Yes, or your Lord and Savior, who is
His Royal Highness, Lord and Savior
of all he surveys.
For short.
Sponsored by Dreamworks.
Sponsored by Dreamworks, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, let's get that Dreamworks plug in there.
Okay, so
by the way, Kevin,
yes,
Kevin, if Dreamworks contacts you and they offer you some money for this podcast,
I mean, if I could get the sponsorship down with Dreamworks, that would be
hook me up, man.
I love that.
I'm not greedy. I'll take a cool $50K.
I won't lie. I may try and slip to the rest of my guests on each episode just a note of mention Dreamworks in a positive light. But
Go for it.
I will keep in mind that you brought Dreamworks to.
Yeah, I'm the one who pulled Dreamworks in.
Okay. Again, the summary I think we just go through is that Captain Doom, he set up an island in the Caribbean called Doom Island, later changed for a year to Dreamworks Island. There was no texting and driving in this country. You were the #1 country in the world for happiest people to live in a country with a bad sounding name, or an anonymous.
Out of three countries. Well, 2 countries in a region.
Transylvania, United States, Transylvania, and Doom Island. Do you think DreamWorks Island knocks you off the island?
Yeah, probably, because that takes away the ominous name. So yeah, for a year, I'm good with that. I'm good with losing that spot for a year.
And sacrifices had to be made when you were bankrupt because Paul mistakenly miscalculated while he was running half the country. But yes, otherwise I was successful tyranthood. So I'm going to end it now and thank everyone who has listened, who dared follow, especially people who are from Florida.
And anybody named Paul.
And anyone named Paul, who may be a recurring character suddenly. Yeah, so thank you.
Please be kind to Paul.
I will put Paul through the ringer.
No, everybody watching, please be kind to Paul.
I'm going to have to give
he's had a rough day.
Brian, so you can be found. Actually, do you want to mention all social media?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I am me personally, I am on Twitter at Real Brian Cutter. My studio, HERC Studios, is also on Twitter at HERC Studios and on TikTok at HERC Studios and Instagram at HERC_studios.
Cool. And yeah, anyone who's still listening, thank you very much. And if you want to follow this, I assume this will be on Spotify and other places. So if you can subscribe or follow or everything, I'm also on Instagram and Twitter at KevRyanPerson. All right. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye. I still haven't figured out my sign off yet, so I'm just going to say goodbye.
Sounds good. Bye.
Good.